Hello and hi. Have you ever thought to yourself, boy, I would really love to go to the drive-in, get a 5-cent soda pop and a popcorn, then head off to the diner, get a root beer float with my friends? That sounds like quite a night. Yeah, me either. I have no friends, and it is not the 1950s. But if it were, and if I had friends to go do things with, what would I wear? How about this 1952 recreation dress from Butterick? B5033. I will be going for A, because dress B is just far too formal for the drive-in. Now I got this pattern from a store. It was $2. It is a size 14 to size 20, and this is not my size. On top I am a size 4 to 6, and on the bottom I am a size 10, so therefore I have to do a little bit of tweaking. I can always size down. It is better that something be too big than too small, says I. For the fabric, I will be using this $3 tablecloth that I got from a separate thrift store. I fold it in half, place it on my table, and lay out the pattern pieces that I, off camera, measured and folded to my size. I then cut the pieces out. Here I have laid out the skirt pieces. It's supposed to be a circle skirt, and it just feels weird to me, so I'm just going to make a circle skirt by folding the fabric in half and half again. I had to cut off a weird stain so it didn't become a part of my skirt. Once folded, I asked my daughter to hold my string in the corner of the fabric on the fold while I drew an even circle. Then I cut it out. And cut out the top, 4.5 inches for my waist. For the bodice, there are quite a few darts that I need to add to the pieces before I can sew them together. I'm making darts for the outer layer and the lining layer, front, then back. Then I head to the sewing machine and sew in all of those darts. Once sewn, I press everything as flat as I can. I then sew the pieces together, front to back. Then I pin and sew the lining and the outer fabric right sides together. Cut the curves, then turn it right sides out, then press. Moving on to the skirt, I simply pin it to the waistband I made off camera and sew it into place with a straight stitch. I then finish the skirt with a rolled hem. And finally, I'm adding buttonholes to close everything up. And with all of that done, I am now ready for the drive-in, which no longer exists because the year is 2025. Well, there we have it. I am done making this dress. In total, it took only about 4 hours. And I would say it took an hour and a half just to sew on all of the buttons. So this really did not take long at all to come together. Now I think the big question here is, do I like this? I don't hate it, is the answer. Ooh, you're big. Giant hornets flying around. One kind of bee I've never seen before. He's scary. Now it is very yellow. Is that inherently a bad thing? No. This would be only the second yellow thing that I own. And the other one is a giant ball gown. The cutout here in the front is too low. The pattern that I used was for a size 14 to size 20, so I had to size it down quite a bit. For the sewing patterns, I would be in between a size 4 and a size 10. The upper part would be a 4, my lower half would be a 10. So therefore, I had to do some tweaking. But I did not take into account the tweaking of the hole here. It's just a little low. Not a big deal though. The pattern said 1950s. This totally reads 1960s to me. Hence the hairdo. Tried to go for the voluminous 1960s look that didn't quite work because my hair doesn't like to work with me. Now instead of the skirt pattern that came with the pattern, I opted for just making a circle skirt. It's the same end result, but the pattern pieces that came with the pattern, they were just weird to me. I didn't quite understand why they would do it that way. So I did it my way and I made a circle skirt. Same look, same concept. Use less fabric that way also. Now is this something that I would make again? Yes. I want to tweak it. I want to make some changes to where it's going to actually be my proper size and then make my pattern copy off of that. So I do like the look of it. I do still think the yellow is a bit much, but overall not bad. I'm only just now noticing some messing up of my seams here. That's kind of ugly. So I'll fix that, no big deal. Instead of a zipper, I opted for buttons. I did have to have my husband help me get into the buttons. I just really don't like zippers. I always fight with them. I tend to always get really angry and then rip the zipper, and half the time the outfit or the clothing or fabric that is accompanied with that zipper. I don't know why zippers infuriate me. Now I haven't done any editing yet, but I don't suppose that this video is going to wind up being very long on account of it didn't take that long for me to make the thing. But I now have another outfit that I can add to my summer wardrobe, as I do not have that many summer items. And I think I'll also play around with some layering, putting some flouncy shirts up underneath the top blouse here, just kind of seeing what goes with it. Because I love flowy, flouncy, floofy sleeves, and this has none. Well, that is all that I have for today's video. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me while I made this 1950s style dress. Because it is a dress, even though I made it a top and a skirt, it's a dress. But because I made it a top and a skirt, I can mismatch. I have some versatility. I think the skirt would look really cute with a white flowy shirt instead of the top. Again, top not bad. This is what screams 60s to me, this cutout here. Well, if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, and if you're not already, consider subscribing. I post every Wednesday. I have a legitimate schedule now. Every Wednesday will come a new video with something new that I am making or doing for the week. Well, that is all that I have to say. Thanks again for hanging out. I'll see you next time. Bye.